Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards, use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there's the Death card. Now, don't get scared. It's only the Death card. The most misunderstood card of the entire tarot deck. The Death card is all about transitions, about evolutions, about perhaps letting go to things that are not serving us any longer. Let's see. Wow, this is a lot of interesting energy. This is very... let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. For that, we're using the Smith-Waite Tarot, and this is one card that we are going to just randomly select, and we're going to set it aside. We'll put the frog on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end of the reading. And hopefully it will tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what we've got. Major Arcana, 1, 2, 3. So we have our trinity of Major Arcana cards. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. There is one thing that is preventing you. We have to let go of something in order to bring this Mercury energy up, right? Because this Mercury, this magician energy is down beneath the surface. It's being hidden, right? It's being concealed. So we're going to take a look at that. Now, we've got our majors. We've got some fire. We've got we've got quite a bit of water here. We've got some air. And then, of course, we have this earth energy. So how are we going to transform our lives? How are we going to realize, see, here is this Knight of Pentacles. This is a card that is invested in the future, knows that what we're doing now affects what happens later, right? Long-term cause and effect kind of thing. This is the card with that spiritual vision, can see what the potential is. It may just seem like a wide open space to the rest of us, but no, not to the Knight of Pentacles. Can see everything that could be built here, right? Maybe hasn't yet broken ground, but can see it. Right? The visionary. The practical kind of visionary can see what the future might hold, but knows that there's a lot of work to do right now in order to get this particular manifestation, this future that we're looking for. So I feel like this is perhaps you right now. You're kind of in that visionary mode. You've got that fire about you that is kind of seeing the practical process, the steps that you need to take to get where you're going. So maybe a career thing, maybe your art, maybe your family, maybe your personal life, maybe your spiritual life. There's a physical component. Okay, this is manifesting somewhere. This could be literally your health and well-being, maybe your fitness, right? We can see what the potential is, right? We know that it's a process. We know that it's an evolution. It's not just a magic trick, right? The magician. We know it's not a magic trick where suddenly things are exactly as we envisioned them. We know it's a process. Now, I think that what this Death card is trying to say, that where to start here even. Let's start with the universal world card. This is in our history. This is maybe what's behind us right now. And this is the world, the universe, some Saturn energy, some Earth Saturn energy. I feel as if you're being held back by something. I feel like your world, rather than growing larger and expanding, I feel like it's been kind of shrinking. It's been stuck, like someone's got a rubber band around it. I wonder if we are in a situation now, or we have been, maybe it's a personal history, maybe it's a cultural history, something ancestral. I feel like we're being restricted. We're being confined to a very narrow lane, right? We don't want a narrow lane. We see a wide open vista. We see what could be. But something is restricting us. Something is holding us back. Something is telling us, no, you can only go down that little road right there. That's meant for you. Very restricted, right? Every other road is off limits, is restricted access, gated communities. You only belong over there. Well, we don't like that. This card doesn't like that. So I think the Death card is here saying that, look, we need to break free of this conditioning, this restrictive energy. The Death card is about the long, slow process of transformation. Now, the situation that we're in with this restrictive energy, this Saturn energy, wasn't just created overnight. It's the part of the long, slow process, right? Something gets set in motion. This process gets set in motion. It's going to continue to evolve and grow and fulfill its nature. Good or bad, positive or negative. In this situation, I feel like it's restricting you. But nothing is going to change it. Nothing is going to stop this Death card from just continuing the process. It goes slow and steady because it knows it's going to get where it's going eventually, right? Death is not in a hurry. We need something. We need to change that one thing. That one thing that is going to alter the course of this evolution here. This restrictive, upbringing, childhood, cultural history, personal history, whatever this is. We need something that's going to redirect this, that's going to stop or redirect this process. Otherwise, we're going to feel more and more and more confined. We're going to feel more and more restricted in our water energy too. Here's the Princess of Cups. What I mean by this is, as this process grows, as we almost feel like our vision is fading, or that the wide open vista that we see, it's starting to kind of shrink until we can only see like that. There's a tremendous sense of loss or disappointment with that energy. We're missing out. We have this vision. We can see what the future could be, but we're so restricted by something that we just feel like it's not for us. There's a lamentation here. It's a real shame, honestly. And I feel like this is the direction things are going if we don't change this one thing. What is this one thing? What is it going to take to get this flow, this river, to change course? How do we redirect the river? Well, here's the Mercury energy. And the Magician, well, that's someone that can redirect a river, right? The Magician, Mercury, can pretty much do anything. With a wave of the magic wand, there can be no river. This could be all gone in a blink of an eye, just like that, in an instant. That's not always a good thing, though. You know, you've seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect. We all kind of know what that means. We don't always know how the most insignificant action that we take right now is going to affect the entire world. Imagine if something as big as breaking free from this ancestral, cultural, generational limitations, personal limitations, breaking free from that sudden burst of energy to get out of that. How does that affect everything else? There are unforeseen consequences. Mercury energy, the magician might know what they are, but isn't going to tell you unless you ask. So we need to bring this genie out of the bottle, really. This card is down beneath the surface. It's being hidden. Might as well not be there. We can only see it because we have an inkling of it. We know that it's there. We have to find a way to invoke this divine wisdom. This is the divine wisdom that has all of the answers but will not tell you unless you ask. Maybe this card up here is us asking the questions, asking the right questions. What is this that's limiting me, and how do I change that? Maybe it is as simple as just willing it into existence, saying, I am not going to be held back by this. We see a card here, the Seven of Wands. This is standing up to something that is way larger than a David and Goliath situation, something that's way more powerful than we are. It's the force of all of these major arcana right here, these two. We're standing up to that with little old Mercury. But we have to understand what the implications are. This card's about knowing the effects of our actions, knowing the consequences for what we do. Right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If we break through from this restraint, this restrictive upbringing, or mental state, headspace, whatever it is, what is the opposite unforeseen effect of that going to be? So just changing one thing, you're one person changing one river, right? Seems simple. What are the more cosmic implications of that? For you, for the others in your life, for your community, for the world, for the universe. Well, we need to bring this energy up to consciousness so that we can interrogate it a little bit, get some answers, right? Find out exactly what's going on, and if I do this, what will happen? If I do that, what will happen? Now, at the top of the path of the dove, we have a 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups to me is saying that you're trying to be content with what we have, with the narrow lane that you're on. We're trying to be contented with that. And I think whatever this path was, whatever this rather limited or, restrictive lane, whatever this narrow lane was that you're in, I think you've done all you could there. And I think that's why we have this reading now, is because we're realizing that we're being held back by something. We're already growing so large, we're like pushing against the edges of this lane. It's like a fishbowl that's just way too small. Very snug, right? All the cups are filled up. So you've achieved as much experience or satisfaction or joy, whatever it is, whatever is in this life now, you've achieved it all. So now what? Now what? There's no place to go, either to starve ourselves, get smaller, or just in one big push, one surge of energy, break out of that fishbowl, break out of this restrictive lane. I think that's that's what needs to change. This idea that you belong in this fishbowl. No, you're a big fish in a little pond. And I don't know your story. I don't know your details, where you are, who you are, what you're doing. what your life is or what it could be, but you know. You know all of those things. And you know how long you have until you're too big for the bowl. Right? 10 of Cups. How long until these cups are full and you're right up against the edges of this bowl? And you either shrink yourself, make yourself small, or you do a little 7 of Wands and you burst out. Well, to do that, before we do that, we need to invoke this unconscious wisdom, this insight, this magical Mercury magician energy. Right? Because the magician is ready to do anything. I love a show, right? The magician is the Broadway star. Doesn't care what the play is or what the musical is, just wants to perform, wants to do miracles, wants to create illusions, and wants to enthrall people and captivate the audience. Doesn't really care what the story's about. Good story, bad story, doesn't matter. It's going to make everything fun to watch, that's for sure. But we have to really be discerning here. We don't want that kind of a life. We want to know where we're going. We have the vision. We want to make sure that Mercury, that our magician, that our wisdom, our divine connection kind of concurs with the choices. Well, if I do this, is that going to be okay as far as my vision goes? What are the unforeseen side effects? Right? Side effects. This is someone, the Princess of Cups, this is someone that's very much affected by those side effects. Right? So this is the risk if we don't do anything. A lot of disappointment, a lot of regret. But if we do the wrong thing, this is also someone that's going to, when you read on the inserts of your medication or whatever, there's all those side effects. This one's got all of them. Potentially. So there's a lot of risk here. We're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. But there's a chance we'll be blessed if we do, too, right? I'd rather go and take the risk for the chance to get that blessing, right? I'd rather do what my spiritual vision tells me is the right thing to do. What I know is a possibility for my life. I'd rather try and fail than not try and still fail, You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's Michael Scott quoting Wayne Gretzky. Anyway, moving to the path of the serpent now. We've got that 7 of Wands. We need that. That is some real Mars in Leo energy. This is just like the decision's been made. And it's not it's not a violent flailing. It's not frantic. It's not, it's not like my camera work there. It's steady. It's purposeful. Right? You're not just wilding out, banging against everything. No, it's very intentional and it's very powerful. It's deliberate. Right? It's kind of calm. It's a calm strength. But it's a strength that's going to break this fishbowl to pieces. Right? If you so choose. Basically, your world is limiting you in some way. And the reason for that is, again, it's either personal history, cultural, generational, whatever it is, ancestral. It's not an easy task. Once we've made the decision, that's almost when the real difficult stuff, starts to happen. That's when we really have to fight and work and struggle. Maybe it's easy here. Maybe we like having this nice 10 of Cups kind of life that it seems pretty good. We can make it work, right? We could be happy here, right? I don't know about that. I feel like there will always be this what if feeling. There will always be this dream of what could have been, a regret of why didn't I take that opportunity when it was there, Well, the next card here, this is the Six of Swords. This is a really nice card. This is in the environment. This is you understanding. This is you understanding how everything that happens in your life, every part of your life right now, every person, place, or thing, every experience, is a necessary piece of the puzzle. Everything is intricately put together. And it's time for us to, well, first of all, to see if this puzzle is the one that we want to be building anyway. Is this the one that we really want to put together? Then also understanding it's the harmony that we'll experience when we have successfully interrogated this magician, when we've asked the right questions, when we've kind of learned the secrets of the tricks. How did you do that? And what's going to happen if I do this? You know, the kind of cause and effect. It's like, well, it's like that butterfly effect, or like a Groundhog's Day kind of thing, right? Finally, all of the pieces come together in just the right way that it clicks, and that unlocks the door. That unlocks the time loop. Yeah. That puts everything together the way it's supposed to be, in the perfect way, the way it was meant to be. If we could say that, I don't know. So we ask the right questions, we get the right answers, and we start to see how we need to put this picture together. How do we put this puzzle together to really make it the best possible future? And that kind of harmony is a thinking, feeling union. It's heart-mind in alignment, resonance, an internal-external harmony. Right? The sixes are a reflection of the divine energy. The spiritual vision that you have, this is the perfect reflection of that in your mind and heart, right? Like blueprint. And then from the blueprint, from the six, you have to continue the work to construct your life, your building, your house, whatever. Starts with an idea. Draw up the plans. The plans need to be a true reflection of the original idea, but they also need to be well put together so that we can actually build the thing, right? You can have an idea, you can draw a picture of it, there's no way you're going to be able to build it, right? So it needs to be an accurate reflection of what's above, and it needs to be capable of accurately reflecting itself down the tree of life to manifestation, to a 10, right? We have a 10 here. This is what we want. We want a life that is an accurate reflection of the 6, which is an accurate reflection of the spiritual world, the divine plan, the original spiritual impulse. I think what we have, what are the reflection that we have now, or the manifestation that we have now, is not really it doesn't satisfy that flow of energy. It doesn't satisfy that law of the middle pillar, right? The reflection up to the 6, the reflection up to the ace. We don't have that now. This is what we need. It's time for us to create a new plan. Draw up some new blueprints. Make sure that they're an accurate reflection of what's above. Right? And that's what we see with this next card, because this is the Prince of, it's the Prince of Cups there. This is the fixed water energy. This is the energy that we don't want, interestingly. Okay. This might be representing a Scorpio person for some of you. It might be resonating that way with some Scorpio energy. But I feel like what this is about is the accurate reflection, because the Prince of Cups here is having a difficulty reflecting outwardly who they feel they are inside. Right? And that's kind of what we're talking about here, but this is on a more internal level, maybe a more, personal kind of level. More internal. There is a struggle here to get this accurate reflection from the 1 to the 6 to the 10. We really need an ace here. I'll say it, we do. I think this is the struggle. This is kind of what we're struggling with internally. Who we are is my vision, is the vision that I have of the future. Is this really who I am? Is this what I'm meant to be? So these are some of the questions we're asking. And if that's a yes, well then we could ask the questions, okay, how do I create an accurate blueprint? How do I create this 6 of swords that I could then create in the external world? I've got the accurate reflection within me. I need to now do the same thing, but in the external, kind of the more macrocosmic sense. But this is the energy, this is the card that we don't want in this position is what we don't want. Well, this is what we need. This is the obstacle, maybe more than being the rejected energy. This is the difficulty. This is the obstacle that we're facing now. Because before we do this work on the outer plane, the external world, we have to make sure that we can do this kind of spiritual reflection thing internally. This is the one thing that needs to change. First is you, then it's the outside world. Okay? But to do that, we have to make a choice. 2 of Swords, it's all about choices, asking the questions, making the decisions, constructing the blueprint. First, we got to get the blueprint of ourselves. And then we can change the circumstances around us. Then we can change the external world and the outside life. But it all has to really begin with a choice, with the choice to ask the right questions. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card now. Thank you, Frog, for your assistance today with this reading for our Aquarius friends. I'd like to see another 6, obviously, or an ace would be the absolute best that I could hope for now. Yeah, I don't have anything else really that I'd be too happy with. I think an ace or another 6 is what we really need. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We've got a 6 of Wands. That's good. Look at that triumph. Look at that. It's like there's a parade now. I think that this is you achieving. This is you accomplishing this. Right? Because this is the 6. This is the reflection in our souls, in our minds, the blueprint of who we are on a spiritual level. Right? It's an accurate reflection of God, Goddess, deity, mirrored in us. It is a solution to this problem. It's one of fiery intensity. It's one of pure creation. It is the highest divine energy. It's like we have an ace of Wands. That God, Goddess, deity, the Godhead, right? The divine spark is now being reflected in you, as you. You are it. So this is a pretty intense confirmation. And this, I think, is the position from which we can fight to make these changes, to break out of this fishbowl so that we can get to the 10, that we can reflect what we now are certain of within ourselves, that we can now create that in the external world so that can be an accurate reflection of the divine mind, which is a reflection of the divine energy, the infinite. I think this is the confirmation that we need. And I think that this really is, I think this is going to change your entire life. I really do. And I'm kind of shocked that we get the 6 of Wands here. I was hoping for an ace, but I think I think the 6 is more appropriate even than an ace would be. Because the 6 is what we're looking for internally and externally. And we're getting that. There's no more confusion about who we are. We are now a very accurate representation of the divine spirit, of the infinite, whatever you want to call it. The words don't really matter, you know. I think this is very intense. I'm very pleased. We are going to do an extended reading, Aquarius. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's up there, or it should be. If it's not, there's a link in the description box. So I'll see you for the extended readings. New readings come out every day at 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other readings. Thank you for hitting the like button, leaving a comment. Thank you for watching this video all the way through to the end. That really helps out the algorithm. I'm very honored that I get to read these cards for you and read this energy for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.